Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's and Mariana's Coffee.
Half a day and welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the Channel 2 News. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. She said, and he said in a dispute in the CNMI legislature. We will take a closer look. Also tonight, hotels throughout the NMI have shuttered or been sold for pennies on the dollar. We'll take a look inside the future for a Garapan property and what that may hold. And authorities say they continue to wait for forensics in a double murder investigation that happened at a former school. These stories and more are next.
Find a plan that goes with your flow. Get unlimited local talk, text, and data at the most affordable rate with Unlimited Flow Postpaid.
I love Mariana's Coffee. Come join me for a cup. I think you would be really happy.
Let your people know. When it comes to the pickle to chicken ratio, some people, they playing in your face, but not the McCrispy.
Dysfunctional.
CNMI Senate is made up of 9 members, 3 from Rhoda, 3 from Tinian, and 3 from Saipan. The Senate President, Edith De Leon Guerrero. This week, the Senate President removed a fellow Saipan senator from her role as a committee chair, and it has not gone over well.
I was actually in the air when I was notified that I was removed from the JGL. And that has been a long-standing dysfunctional leadership we've had in the Senate for the last 16 months. We have had no leadership meetings, not a single one. We don't know, we are not privy as to when the next Senate session will be. The Senate President has basically usurped the powers of the floor leader. It certainly speaks to political desperation, I think, but that's not the only reason. There have been other things that have been happening here in the Senate that I chose not to disclose because it's just petty. These are petty issues that really don't belong in, the public. I'm not trying to incite any animosity towards anybody. So I chose not to discuss petty issues.
In a memo issued recently, the Senate President says that close to 60 bills are pending in the JGL committee and that Senator Babauta's committee hasn't met since last September.
I have been trying since last April, and you guys all have the communication at this point in your hands that prove that I have been trying to engage Tinian senators to be members of the JGL. And they have taken their sweet time to tell me, only to come back and tell me, no, they don't want to be a member of JGL. And this happened prior to the resignation or abdication of Senator Dennis Mendiola in July of last year. I started trying to engage with Tinian senators since last April in a meeting I had with Senator Francisco Cruz.
But why not appoint any of them to be part of the committee?
I did. In those 7 memos, you will see that I have appointed Senator Francisco Cruz first, And he took his sweet time. He didn't respond until 2.5 months later when I followed up. And he finally said he was unwilling to be a member of the JGL. I then immediately appointed Senator Carl King Neighbors, who is now the chair of this committee. And it took him another 2 months to tell me no, he doesn't want to be a part of it. And that was only after repeated attempts to engage with them. And then I finally appointed Senator Jude Hofschneider in November of last year. So I don't know. I won't speculate. I wonder if, this is just their way of frustrating the legislative process. At this point, I'm convinced it is.
Babauta comments on statements made by Tinian senators.
One word that comes to mind about everything he said about me being unwelcoming is totally dishonest and utterly false. I'll say that right now. The record will speak for itself. That I have met with him. I have written 7 memos. It took me 7 tries to get them to engage, and now they're coming up with these untruths.
The rift between senators apparently started last year.
I don't know why or how. I will say, and I will provide you copies of, the first instance and experience I've had was her trying to control who gets to park in my assigned parking stall. And that is so petty, that's why I don't bring that up.
Parking space?
Yes. We are all assigned a parking space. And if you go out there, you can film it. My parking stall is the far right, which I have never used, because there is a drainage as I exit my car that is dangerous, and I could literally either sprain or break my ankle.
Senator,
So she issued a memo that only Senate members are allowed to park there. I tried to, Senate staffers, other members have asked me if they could park there, and I have no problems with that. I don't care about my parking. It's unfortunate that they have to bring people down in order to raise themselves up. Talk is cheap. Let's do the work, is my message.
Hyatt Regency Saipan announced plans to close the hotel property this summer, shortly after obtaining a new 40-year lease. The hotel business has not been kind or stable to most of the hotel investors in the Marianas over the years. Can Pacific, doing business as Mariana Resort, put 40 years of effort into the local hotel landscape, building a hotel, 50-meter pool, spa, baseball field, golf course, and more. It has sat empty since 2017 when a lease extension failed to materialize. Japan Airlines spent over $60 million to build the Nikko Hotel and La Fiesta Mall. They abruptly ended their presence here in 2005 and sold the hotel for just $3.5 million. La Fiesta was sold to the CNMI government and given to the Northern Marianas College, who briefly operated classes there and then abandoned the building. It remains vacant. To the south, Plumeria Resort sits decaying and empty. The formerly Japanese-owned Daiichi Hotel was sold to Tan Holdings and was rebranded the Fiesta Resort and now Crown Plaza. Grand Rio Hotel was formerly the Hafaday Beach Hotel. It suffers from extremely low occupancy. The Saipan Diamond Hotel was sold to Korean investors who have since sold it again. The former Grand Hotel was Japanese-owned. It was sold to Tan Holdings. It currently sits empty after being rebranded the Kanoa Resort. Locally owned Pacific Gardenia shut its doors. Pacific Islands Club and Coral Ocean Point both changed hands a couple of times. On Tinian, the Tinian dynasty is now a part of the Jungle. The former casino hotel closed about 10 years ago. On Rhoda, the Rhoda Resort Hotel and Country Club sits empty. And perhaps the biggest exclamation point, the Imperial Pacific Casino, which towers empty over everything in Garapan. The two biggest local hotel players currently, the Eland Group, which operates 3 properties and has also opened food and retail establishments, and Tan Holdings, which owns 3 hotel properties, as well as a number of other businesses. Would either one of these companies be interested in the Hyatt property?
You're talking about a building that is more than 40 years old, that basically was shut down during COVID. And now is currently one of the wings, or maybe even 2 of the wings, are shut down. So it's not something where we're starting from a newer building that is fresh, that has been used by customers over the last year and a half. We're not talking about that. We're talking a building that basically has been shut down for 4 years. And so it doesn't take long. It's right on the water. Everyone knows if you have a house or whatever right by the water, it doesn't take long before mold takes over, before things start breaking down, rust and so on. And I think that we're not starting from a brand new, we are starting from a 40-year-old building. So it's not going to take long for it to get dilapidated. Look at IPI.
Is it a property that Eland or Tan Holdings would be interested in?
I think it is Garapan core, so I think that there's always going to be interest. But again, it's a new lease. 5% of the fair market value would be way beyond, the price where they would actually be able to get a return of investment. So that's going to be the major issue.
Police are still waiting for the results of forensic evidence shipped off in the investigation of a double homicide that happened in January of this year. No arrests have been made. DPS PIO Fred Sato said today that some of the evidence was shipped to Guam while more of it was shipped to the mainland. The Chinese couple that was killed was attacked in this makeshift apartment here at the former Ladera International School. Police identified both victims, both in their 50s, Jingdong Wang, a 57-year-old electrician, and his wife, Shuping Liu, also known locally as Lily. Police say the victims are Chinese nationals with green cards, both longtime residents, both in their 50s. Man worked as an electrician, the woman as a teacher at this school next to the Manamco Center. Authorities initially got a panicked call from a coworker who went to check on the woman, her coworker, when she didn't come to work. Police said in December of 2023, the couple called police about a robbery at the same location. Police were trying to figure out if those two incidences were connected. Federal partners helping with phone data dumps and fingerprint analysis. If you have any information that can help DPS, you can call 911 or call the Crime Stoppers hotline at 670-234-7272. That call is anonymous.
Upgrade your savings when you bundle with any iPhone 15 series today. Our affordable Link bundle gives you the power to choose just what you need, with mobile and home internet starting for as low as $105 a month, no home phone required. Plus, activate your bundle with a brand new iPhone 15 and receive your first 2 months of home internet on us. A $50 port-in credit, a SuperPod AX, and basic installation, all free for a limited time. Additional conditions may apply. Visit DocomoPacific.com to learn more. Docomo Pacific, better together.
Let your people know. When it comes to the pickle to chicken ratio, some people, they playing in your face, but not the McCrispy.
Premium office space is available now at the Hermosa Vista Business Park on Capitol Hill. Features include dedicated parking, fast internet, backup power, good water, and natural light throughout to go along with the very best views on Saipan. So don't settle for space when you can get peace and peace of mind. Call Hermosa Vista today at 670-483-4750 or email hvsaipan@gmail.com.
I love Marianne's coffee. Come join me for a cup. I think you would be really happy.
The Department of Public Safety says they are planning to beef up police presence this weekend at the Taste of the Marianas. It's tourism month, but last Saturday night, high schoolers engaged in a shouting match on the grounds of the American Memorial Park at the Taste of the Marianas location that was fed by social media. DPS says they normally have about 16 officers assigned to the event. Many of them are helping with traffic issues and traffic flow, as access to the area has been challenging with all the Garapan construction going on. DPS PIO Fred Sato said today they're asking for the public's help in two areas, namely not parking on the shoulders of the roads as it hampers traffic and slows everything down. He says they may even need to have a tow truck out this weekend to get rid of cars that are parked in the wrong spots. He also asks that parents monitor teenager use of social media and to discourage any rhetoric on that social media that would encourage any confrontation at the Taste or any sorts of turf wars. Rhoda students of the National Honor Society helped mark Tourism Month by repainting a historic sugar industry train engine dating back to the Japanese administration era in the early 1900s. The project was undertaken on May 11th with the Marianas Visitors Authority in celebration of Marianas Tourism Month. Rhoda lies just 40 nautical miles from Guam, and later this month, the Guam Visitors Bureau has helped organize 4 charter flights from Guam aimed at introducing Rhoda to military personnel through the MWR program. The railroad locomotive was used to haul sugar cane from the fields to the mill in Song Song Village. It is the only locomotive associated with the sugarcane industry that's still in its traditional location. Other attractions on Rhoda include the bird sanctuary and the famous swimming hole. Rhoda is thought to currently have a population of about 3,000 people. This week, right here on Channel 2, Catherine Perry welcomes traditional weaver James Bamba to Your Humanities Half Hour.
In addition to the fact that you say that you also kind of study or observe or learn from weavers worldwide, how beautiful that you're taking this traditional knowledge around the world.
So yes, I did go to Spain for approximately 2 weeks. And in the Spanish museums, they have items from the Marianas, weaving particularly of what was of interest for me.
Bamba's specialty is pandanus leaf weaving, and he delves into traditional weaving topics. You can catch the show right here on Channel 2. It's Thursday night at 7 p.m. Next Friday, Congressman Sablon will be the keynote speaker at the commencement ceremony for the Northern Marianas College. Congressman has been elected 7 times and has announced that this will be his final term. NMC says that as a member of the House Natural Resources Committee and the House Committee on Education and the Workforce in the U.S. House of Representatives, Congressman Sablon has advocated for increased federal support for schools, healthcare facilities, and infrastructure projects within the Northern Mariana Islands, and that his legislative achievements have significantly impacted the quality of life and opportunities for residents of the Commonwealth. NMC President Dr. Galvin De Leon Guerrero says we are honored to have Congressman Sablon share his insights and experiences with our graduates. Goes on to say his dedication to serving our community and his accomplishments in Congress to serve as a testament to what can be achieved through hard work and perseverance. The commencement ceremony will celebrate the achievements of over 300 graduates. Hey, golfers, come north and practice your game at the Marianas Driving Range. New Year's local specials. 10-piece coupon books available for just $60. That's a $10 savings. Want to get really good? Come work on your swing every day for just $99 per month. It's our practice pass and you're going to love it. Grab your passes and go straight to the range. You can social distance and chip all at the same time, and the views are free. Reserve now at marianastrekking.com. You can pay online, open 7 days a week. At one of Saipan's beaches, this mother lays about 100 eggs under the cover of darkness. She hides her nest as best she can and then slowly makes her way back to the ocean. The eggs hatch and the babies head for the sea, where they will face a daily dose of danger. Just 1 in 1,000 will make it to adulthood. Those that do will one day lay their own eggs. Sea turtles are protected under CNMI law. If you see one that is stranded or if you see illegal activity, call the hotline at 287-8537. National Weather Service keeping an eye on a system they are calling Invest 93W, and they say it could develop into a tropical cyclone somewhere between Yap and Chuk, and possibly approach and impact the Marianas early to mid next week. However, they say the forecast confidence remains low as there is much uncertainty in timing, location, and strength of any system that persists this far out. They do say to expect partly cloudy skies and isolated trade showers this week. We could see a slight uptick in clouds and showers at times as wrinkle in the trades pass through, and we may have a little bit more weather early next week, Monday and Tuesday. Satellite imagery again showing partly cloudy skies and spotty trade showers for the Marianas.